Hello, I'm M.K.Davis. What you're looking at is the face of a very live, very real Sasquatch. This was taken from a film that was shot in 1967 in Northern California by Roger Patterson and his friend Robert Gimlin. Now, on the left is the raw image. It's been filtered. That's why it's got a red tint. And it is probably double the resolution of most anything that you see on the net or anywhere else. But you can't get a good frame like this, a good quality from a bad film. If you take a bad film in the first place, there's nothing you can do with it. What this tells you is that the original film that was in Patterson's camera was not a bad film. It was of this quality. Now that brings up some interesting questions because this was leaked to the internet back in the 90s when the internet became, widespread. And the people, the handlers of the film, the people who had this right here, couldn't resist. But they put it out there, and I got it. That's what started me on my journey, because I knew when I saw it that it had been treated much like I would do an astrophoto to look at faint detail to make it pop. It had been filtered. And so with technology being what it is, and the upscaling, which is coming into its very own, Mr. Todd Gatewood from Oklahoma contacted me and asked about what I had on the film. He had the software that he could, and the skills and the tenacity to pursue this. So I sent him this. And this is what he sent back. And it is just absolutely stunning. What I wanted to do here is to do a point by point, so that you'll see and understand that this is not an artist rendering. This is Patty. And you can do it. See this right here? See how this drops down across the cheek? It's right there on the edge. You can see this very same thing right here. I must be on something else. Hold on. See it right here? There you go. But it's much better. All the hairs are delineated. See this right here? This little, it's got a little arch right there of lighter colored stuff. There you go right here. Everything is point by point the same. Look inside the mouth. You can see the teeth. There they are, much better delineated. See this? It's an old scar down below the lip. You can see it right here. No. Right here. I'll just try it again. Now you can see it right here. I'll take the time if you got the time. There it is, right there. Okay, I'm going transparent with it. See, it's a perfect fit. Now watch it. Aha. It's small over there now. I'll just leave it over here. What I'm saying is that point by point, there's nothing over here that is not over here. And he made it just abundantly clear and smooth. And I'll show you what this software does. See if I can get to it. This comes from a website about that software. And it turns what's on the left over here into what's on the right. And I'll show you. We'll just make a circle up here. Now watch when I increase the contrast. I want to see individual hairs. And when it gets to where it's about to show individual hairs, it starts to pixelize. Well, it's too intense on the color. Let me back off the color over there, Because when you boost contrast, the color jumps up. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still on this right here. Hold on. That's the problem. Now, it's not pixelized, and that's why I'm saying this is an extremely good image. It's digitized, but it's not easy to pixelize. I can see pixels. You can see them right here. See them right in there, right in there. Let me blow it up. There you go. There's your pixels. Okay. See this right here? See this right here? The same thing. Same problem. The software will bring them back into line. And it'll do this right here. You can do it the whole thing as well. You can see the pixels right there. When I first used this image, people argued with me that you couldn't blow it up. Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can find it and show it to you. Here it is right here. Might have to wait on it. There it goes. Look at this. It survived that pretty well. That this is a very special image off a very special film. That's a few years ago. But after I did this, nobody argued with me that you couldn't do it. Obviously, you could. And that brings up the question about, you know, what the information given about the film site, how close they were. They say that proves that you can't do it. The very physics involved. Well, if you have it, then that information must be wrong. Because there it is. And you can tell detail on it. With a little bit of software, the new kind like they got now, you could bring this image back up to from good to great to fantastic. And that's what Mr. Gatewood did. Now this is taken off of this image right here, which is such a fine and fantastic piece. But the next one is from a Chrome. In other words, a paper image. The next sharpest one after this one is this one. This is frame 364. And if you'll notice, everything has been, it's got a blue shading to it. It's not filtered like this one. It's an overlay. Someone actually created that for the picture. It turned Patty completely monotoned. In other words, it squashed all the other colors, like the reds. This right here is red under the armpit right here. But they for whatever reason, shaded out all the other colors. You can actually see teeth right there when you filter it. I want to show you something that the man who made this is a man named Bruce Bonney. He had these, he worked on the very original film that was in Roger Patterson's camera. And he got into an argument, back in the day they had these exchanges were like by, writing letters and stuff. And this is what he wrote. John Beckyard claimed that he saw a baby on Patty's back, and this disturbed Mr. Bonney a lot because he had worked with the very best. And I'm going to read to you what he said, because he describes the film's capability to resolve. John Beckyard reported in the June 1981 issue of Bigfoot Co-op that he sees a baby Sasquatch creature in the Patterson Gimlin film that is hanging on for dear life to the Sasquatch mama creature. I was amazed by this bizarre announcement because I have never seen a baby Sasquatch in the film, and I know that the creature is walking alone on the sandbar. I say that I know because I am working with color photographs taken directly from the original film, the same film that Roger Patterson was running in his camera at Bluff Creek. Now, a paper photograph is called a platen image, and the light has to go through the dye layers, reflect off the paper background, back out through the dye layers before you see it. So it drops in quality a little bit. And that's what you see when you see the difference between these two images. Try to get her up there where you can. You see the difference. This is a transmission image. In other words, it's on celluloid. It's designed to be projected. Light only passes through it once. So it is considerably better than this one, although this is better than almost all the others. When you get down to what the public sees, it's almost nothing but a silhouette. Let me read some more. Remember, he was working with the original film, the same film that was Roger Patterson was running in his camera at Bluff Creek. In January 1980, I participated in the first program to produce high-quality color photographs from the original Patterson Gimlin film. The original 16mm Kodachrome 2 film was first enlarged and printed on 4x5-inch Kodak Ektachrome duplicating film 6121. These 4x5-inch color transparencies were then contact printed on Ilford Cibachrome, a color print material. The sharpest color printing paper available. This printing sequence resulted in the sharpest and clearest color prints ever made of the best frames of this film, having the highest resolution and greatest color fidelity yet produced. For the first time, we have prints which clearly show the creature's face with eyes, nostrils, and lips. Okay, let's take a minute here. Look at that. Eyes, nostrils, lips. That's what Mr. Bonney saw. The maximum limit of anatomical resolution in the three sharpest Cibachrome prints is about 1 centimeter, meaning that details of the creature's body larger than 1 square centimeter in area are visible in the prints and are capable of basic identification. So if the Sasquatch mama creature is carrying a baby in the film, then the baby must be smaller than 1 cubic centimeter in volume, smaller than a marble or grape, because it is not visible in the Cibachrome prints. Now he says that you could see details as small as a marble or a grape with basic identification. There's his eye, as big as a marble or a grape. There's the breasts with the nipples. You see what I mean? When I say we've been hoodwinked, we have been hoodwinked. That this film was so much better that you could identify down to something the size of a marble or grape. So what's with all this information that they put out there that people could take and use calculations, and then they could swear that you could not have a picture like this because it was physically impossible? No, it was physically impossible for them to tell the truth. That's what was impossible. We have the photographs, and the charade is over. What do you see here? What do you see here? You don't even see any pixels right there. There's none showing because they've been all aligned. Look inside the mouth. There's that scar I cut off of there a while ago. It's over here. Oh, shoot. There it is, right there. See the pixels? Now I can make them show a little better by boosting this. You won't find any on here. Very same picture. Wow. So let me encourage you that if you have any notions about what a Sasquatch might be or might not be, and you haven't had a chance to look at this, you need to look at it. And if you do, be ready to change so that your notions can be described with this photo right here. Because this is a Sasquatch. It's not a legend. It's not a cartoon. They cavort about the earth in various places, and this one was in Bluff Creek, California. I thank you for your time.